Hello friends, welcome to Salesforce CRM Analytics video session 167. So basically in today's video, we will actually try to understand the formatting options which are present under the column section of the table. So I have actually walked through the formatting options which you had under the table options, and I took the reference of values table itself. The properties are same. I can actually walk you through very quickly, but yeah, today's we will also focus on what are the things we can check under the column section. Okay, so what I will do is in the Analytics Studio, I will again go to the values table. Let me duplicate this tab. Okay, and let me open the compare table and pivot table. Now, ideally, this is not a very good table in terms of presentation, but I am just explaining you all the properties which we have. So we are just taking the properties as of now and not focusing on the presentation part. So with the all the things which have been done on the table, now we'll focus on the options which are present under column. Okay, so choose column. Let's say I choose this column called account, let's say industry as of now. Okay, so if I choose the industry, how you want to show the data? If I want to show it as image, some kind of image will be there, but as of now I think the text is fine. Now how I want the alignment to be, if I want it center, if I want it right, for example, let's say I want it right. Okay, then this is how it will come up, the text regular, whether I want it bold. Okay, so I can make that options of bold as well. Fine. Then if we come to conditional formatting, like if I want to add certain conditional formatting for, let's say, industry, I will use dimension value, use color in reference column. Okay, so let's say I go for use color in reference column and I go for background color. Okay, so if I just go for this one, fine. If I click on apply, okay, this is how it will look like right now. Okay, so right now if you see, this is how it looks like somehow this got highlighted over here. Okay, so that's the thing about conditional formatting. Fine. And if I want to pick certain values, let's say for insurance, I want to pick certain value for insurance because that's what I see right now. Let's say I go for banking. Okay, so for banking, if I want to choose certain colors, so I can choose that as well. So let's say the text color, I choose something on the greener side, and the background color I choose, let's say, as you can see, the banking color got this one. Okay, uh, for banking, what I can do is, okay, so that's how this is being done right now. Okay, then you have something called as the action set record actions for this column, learn more. So we can actually check this one, that's fine. However, we can, sorry, currently it's not working, which is fine. This actions we can check later as well, that is fine. Okay, nothing much, I haven't used this one much as well. The tooltip, now if you want to add certain tooltip, like if you click on default, so whenever you hover over here, some tooltip is happening. Like if you click on none, for example, 1 minute, the default tooltip is if you want to put some custom text. Okay, so for example, I write this is a values table. Okay, I write something like this is a values table. Now what I can do is, like, I can just hover somewhere and check. Okay, if you see, this is how this is coming up. So I have specifically done it for this column industry, that's why you see this is a values table popping up over here. So again, if I go to the columns, so under that condition header, okay, so I have given this as default. Like for example, that industry, if I just give it as custom, it will show me that part. For example, for others, I didn't make any change. That's why that column name is showing up. But specifically for industry, it's coming as this is a values table, as you can see. Okay, so that's the thing about this formatting. Fine. I hope you understood this part. Like we can choose that column and actually you can make some changes. For example, let's say I take some other column. Let's say I take something like uh, stage, for example. Okay, so as stage, this text is fine. Maybe for now I can give the image also just to show you how it appears. Maybe I can give it as left alignment. Okay, the cell width, how much width we want. Okay, so let's say I make it as cell width as 100. Okay, and cell height, maybe I can make it as 40. Sorry, 40. Okay, Then the conditional formatting can add some rules. Okay, so for example, use dimension value, use coloring reference, color and formatting. Okay, so maybe I can go for dimension values. I will choose the color. Let's say I go for, okay, for here, maybe what I can do is instead of choosing dimension values, I can use coloring reference column. So text color, maybe I can go for some background color, and maybe if I click on apply, okay, and now if I just remove this one, you see, this is how it's coming. Some image has I've just put it over there, but this is how this whole thing is coming up. Now, if you specifically want to change the color of the values, then that is something which we have done in industry, and that's how this is working out. So basically, these are all the things which we can just do a more hands-on. We can just do a more hands-on and get to know about the types of things. So we have something called as the columns, and you can specifically mention the alignment, text color. You can give the conditional formatting, and for header also, you can choose like what kind of header you want. For example, let's say for this stage, which I already did, right? So for stage one, which is already done, let's see if I go for none, okay? If I go for none, and now if you see like all for others, it's showing that name. So tooltip is like if you hover over there, that text which appears, that is the tooltip. For industry, this is the values table which I have shown up, but for stage, nothing is popping up if you see, okay? Because I gave it as none, fine. So these are various options which are there, okay? And I hope this part is clear. Now, what I will do is quickly I will walk you through the formatting options which we have in the table sections for other tables as well. So this is values table. Now themes is there. So for example, if you come over here, you see the themes as well. Okay, the spacing, the cell padding, column width. These are something which is completely similar. Then if you go to the header as well, okay, the background color, text size, alignment, style, and this is something you will find under header as well. Okay, the same thing. And then comes the cells. Okay, so under cells option, you have this text color, all these things. So again, under sales option, you have the same thing as well under values column table. And then when it comes to border, you can play around with this minor, major, and the same thing will be over here as well. Okay, not an issue. Then comes the colors. You have the table background color, alternate colors. So the colors also is the same thing. Now here, of course, you have a variety of options. For example, so I think it might somehow depend on the theme as well. So for example, let's say I choose this theme. Okay, now if I choose this theme, and here if I go to this one borders, so much more options will come up. So if no theme is chosen, then the borders you won't get that option. For example, here for sorry, I'm sorry, it's about colors. So if I go to the color section, this is how the based upon the theme which you choose, you will get all these options. Now if you don't go by any theme, you will have by default the table background and alternate colors. But if you choose anything depending upon how the theme is, you will also get this option of auto color and even color. Now if I disable this one, definitely nothing will pop up. Okay, so same thing, if you like go for like if you select this one, then only this option will pop up of auto color and even color. Okay, okay, for now maybe I can go for this theme as well from over here, which is fine. And finally, you have something called as the layout. Okay, so again, you can enable, expand, or collapse. So something under layout also, like we have this part here, we didn't have this can't expand or collapse in pivot table or compatible. So always remember this part, this enable, expand, or collapse. Okay, only this option is will be present only in like can't expand or collapse columns in can't expand or collapse pivot tables or compatibles without a grouping. So until the grouping is not there, you won't be able to utilize this option. So this option won't be there, of course, on the values table, because in values we never do a group by. But under the column section, if you by chance don't have any group by, then definitely you won't have this option as well. So if you enable this option, it will actually help you to expand or collapse. Okay, so that's what this expand and collapse means. Okay, as you can see over here. Okay, so you can actually ensure that it get collapsed completely fine, and this is the way it's working out. Okay, so that's the thing about option about expand and collapse further. Okay, this thing, if you want to expand, that way it's done, fine. So that's the thing, like if I go for stage, this is completely collapsed, and if I same thing do over here, it's completely collapsed. Okay, so that's one extra option. And other than that, yeah, other than that, the other option which is there, that is something which is not over here. The frozen column is again the same thing. So firstly, again, let me just expand this. Okay, then if you go to the, so other option is not there, that other option where you want to actually show the row index columns. Okay, those things are not there because here it's not needed, fine. And one more thing is, as we already mentioned, like this enable, expand, or collapse, that will be only be there if you have this group by. So for example, if I remove all the group by, okay, very quickly, you will not have this option, as you can see. Okay, so definitely that options are needed. uh, and I guess if I bring one more group by, I wanted to check one more thing. Let's say I bring something called as the billing country. And now if I go for this option, so basically the last dimension which you bring in there, you won't have that option of collapsing. For example, up till when I brought this billing country, up till industry, I have this option of collapsing, okay, which is fine. Up till stage, then stage bucket also I can collapse, which is fine. And in stage also I can collapse. Like if I don't want to show the other dimension, I can easily just click on that options, okay, and that way it will show up fine. So that's the whole thing about this enable, expand, or collapse. Okay, now under columns also is more or less the same thing. If you see, we can choose the column, we can show the data as, we can show the text element, the text style. Okay, the same thing which we have done previously. Fine. uh, that's the way it is done. And finally you can have the conditional formatting as well, and you can choose the rule how you want to do it. Okay, for example, let's say for agriculture, I want to give certain colors over here. Let's say I want to give the text color as something like purple. Okay, and here also I want to give it something like blue. Okay, so I can click on apply, and this is how it will look like. Okay, just to showcase you the difference. Okay, and definitely there are actions we can go on later, and again the tooltip is also the same thing. Fine. And again, if I go to the pivot table as well, just to show you very quickly, like under the tables also, this is the same thing, the themes. Okay, the spacings which we have, the header, the cells, okay, the borders, the colors, and finally the layout which you have. Okay, so yeah, that's the thing. Layout, again, here it depends on what kind of group by you are having. So here enable can't expand or collapse in pivot table compatible without a grouping. So here we have the grouping, but still it's not there. Let me check if I can bring one more over here. Let's say I bring something like the billing country. Okay, I guess that doesn't happen in the pivot table as well. In the pivot table, I guess you will not have this option. Fine. And here also you won't have that customize frozen options as well. Okay. Or let's see if I just delete one of the sum of amount. Yeah, then also I'm not getting, basically in pivot table you will not have that option, but otherwise if you check the columns as well, it's more or less the same thing. Fine. So yeah, that's it about this one. I hope you understood about all the formatting options. This is the second part of it. In the first part we understood about the formatting options within the table sections, and here we understood what are the formatting options within under the column sections under this formatting options. Okay, so and yeah, I hope you understood some minute difference in the tables. For example, how we enable the expand or collapse, something which you only get in compare table, you won't even get in pivot table. And then how we can actually ensure the others option, like showing the row index, is something which you only get in values table, you won't get in the other two tables. Fine. And the other than that, all the properties are actually similar, nothing much. And you just have to ensure for this column the group by is present definitely for the show enable expand or collapse. Okay, and we walk through each one of them how that works out. So yeah, more or less, the properties options are same. You can actually walk through, like these are some things which you have to walk through. You have to just check one by one how it goes, and that way you can actually learn. Fine. So yeah, that's it about this video. I hope you enjoyed this, and yeah, that with this we come to the end of the table modes, the values table, compare table, and pivot table, and what are the various properties and formatting options present under these tables. Okay, so yeah, thank you.